the ICC, the International Criminal Court, has officially issued warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant, so also for some Hamas members as well. But obviously, the biggest question here was, on the international stage, is Israel committing war crimes? Are these crimes against humanity? The ICC has now officially issued these warrants. Can you just give me your brief perspective on these warrants now being official?
This is huge. This is such an earth-shattering development. The decision of the ICC to issue arrest warrants for Netanyahu and for his because the chief prosecutor of the ICC, Karim Khan, applied 6 months ago for arrest warrant, and the pre-trial chamber was unable or took its time to reach a decision. Today it's reached that historic decision, and now Netanyahu is a war criminal, or potentially a war criminal, and he is the head of the state of Israel. So the Jewish state is being accused of war crimes by the ICC, and this is such significant development in the conflict. The evidence is overwhelming. In Gaza, Israel has been committing war crimes on a daily basis. The forcible displacements of civilians is a war crime. So Israel has been doing that every day. Starvation of civilians is a war crime. Israel is doing it all the time. The indiscriminate bombing of civilians is a war. So there is an accumulation of war crimes, and now the ICC has come off the fence and declared and issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant. So they're now in the same category as Vladimir Putin, was also declared a war criminal. Netanyahu has the choice of fighting this charge in the ICC, having lawyers to defend himself against the charge, or he can refuse to accept the jurisdiction of the court. And the ICC said that they don't need his acceptance of the jurisdiction. They have the power. They have called him a war criminal. So he can refuse to appear there, in which case he becomes a fugitive from justice. 124 countries are members of the ICC. So in 124 countries in the world that he goes to, it'd be possible to arrest him, and I hope he will be arrested. The irony is that Netanyahu is now on trial at home on serious corruption charges. He's on trial. He faces trial on charges of accepting bribes, breach of faith, and another charge. And he has been delaying and postponing because he knows that if he goes to trial, he will be convicted. Most probably, he will end up in prison. And now he's also a criminal, declared a criminal by he's sought as a criminal by the International Criminal Court. And this is, more than anything else, a comment on degradation of the state of Israel under his leadership. It's not just he as the individual in the dock, it's the whole of Israeli society as it has evolved under his leadership, particularly in the last year in Gaza. But I'd like to make one last comment, and that is that Israel is guilty of very serious war crimes, including genocide. The Western powers, particularly America and Britain, in my view, not just complicit in Israel's war crimes, they are active partners, active participant in Israel's war crimes. And because the Western powers have given Israel a free pass, because they've not called it to account, they've brought into disrepute the whole of the international rule-based order. So the decision there to issue arrest warrants is of great significance, not just for Israel, not just for the Western supporters of Israel, but for international order in general.